CNP is a get-her-done outfit, as has been mentioned several times. You have a cast of selfless servants, and you focus on three primary pillars. You focus on limited government, and limited government to serve we the people. And you focus on a strong defense to protect we the people. And then finally, traditional values that anchor we the people. And that's so important. And gratefully also, we don't have to ask where would we be without CNP, because CNP is here every day, one boot in front of the other, fighting in the foxholes of life, the culture wars we're all talking about. And so I honor CNP. Give yourselves a round of applause if you would. When I wrote Resilient Nations in 2014, I was really wrestling with how I felt, and I was getting toward the end of it. And I had just written 3 chapters on life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And as I looked at life, I really discovered, looking across America, a pervasive culture of death and violence. As I looked at liberty, I saw an alarming culture of appeasement, both international and domestic. It plays out in different ways. And then finally, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. As I looked at pursuit of happiness, I saw a pervasive culture of entitlement and dependency. And I was wrestling. I was sort of come to the conclusion that we've gone beyond the tipping point. We're beyond the point of no return. And I was trying to assess, am I sad, mad, angry, depressed? What is it? And then God led me to Psalm 7:11. And Psalm 7:11 says, God is a righteous judge and he is indignant every day. And I said, that's it, I'm indignant. And I suspect that everyone here is indignant today. You know, the reality is that indignation that we talk about, Christ was rightly indignant when he turned over the tables of the money changer and he took action. God was rightly indignant when he saw the nation of Israel with the idolatry and defying everything that he had given them, everything they needed. William Wilberforce, we know his life story. He was indignant and he's driven to action by the incivility in British culture and the slave trade. And you can name your own. Martin Luther King, Dietrich Bonhoeffer. The warrior David was indignant when he looked into the eyes of that giant Goliath. And he said, how dare that uncircumcised Philistine defy the armies of the living God? And I think that represents perhaps our emotions. And to paraphrase David, I would say tonight for all of us, how dare that secular progressive influence? How dare those human philosophies, those special interest groups? How dare these harbingers of doom taunt the army of the living God and taunt the God who breathed life and soul into America. And finally, I'd say, how dare they continue to tear down the constitutional foundations upon which this nation was based? So now the good news is we've won a few battles lately. And as we've won a few battles lately, we have cause for celebration, renewed purpose. But as an Army guy, a general of troops, I want to give you the infantry maxim: beware the counterattack. We must appreciate the degree to which we have been infiltrated as a nation by these forces that I've described, and the counterattack is ferocious. We are in a fierce, multi-generational battle. You know that. You're fighting it for the heart and soul of America. And the reality is that we must not quit. The reality is that we cannot lose. And the fate of our children and our grandchildren depend upon our actions, our indignation, and our resulting action collectively and individually. So you've heard of a general named Douglas MacArthur. He would exhort, there is no substitute for victory. And so CNP tonight, there's no substitute for victory in this battle that we fight together.